4 people. Nice.
Good morning. Oh wait, did Layla already arrive? Is she already here?
Man. She's already
Man,
here.
that's awesome. That's awesome.
She's quick.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, she'll be here soon, I guess, and then we can get going. I had some Jeopardy music queued up for us to wait for her. But I know everybody else can hear it, but you can't. So just don't say anything for half an hour or for 30 seconds. Anyway, good morning.
Friday.
It is Friday.
It is Friday.
Yeah, it's Friday. It'd be
Welcome,
great.
everyone. How was your stream with Layla? Let us know. I went because we have a super exciting stream today. I'm really happy. We have Layla, of course, back today to put a nice bow on the present that we've been working on for the last 2 weeks. 2 streams. We've done 2 streams back to back, right? With Layla.
That's true, and now it'll be 3. Third time's a charm. I hope. We hope.
Third time lucky. Let's see. Final touches on that project. So we're adding the Twilio 2-factor authentication to our ASP.NET project with Active Directory B2C. And then for the second half at 9 o'clock or 12 p.m. Eastern, or is that 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. GMT? No. 5 p.m. GMT. 5 p.m. GMT. We have Danny Martins. Damn, man, time zones are hard. We got Danny Martins from the CloudSol team. He's joining us. He's the lead PM for CloudSol, and he's joining us to give us a tour of CloudSol.
Oh, that'll be awesome.
Yes. If you haven't used CloudSol, then it's a fantastic tool to use.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love it.
I don't really use it much, to be honest, but it's mostly because I don't go anywhere. So I'm never in a place where I don't have a machine that's already got all my tools on it.
True. But it's now on
stuck at home.
It's on Windows Terminal as well, or Microsoft Terminal. Windows Terminal.
Windows Terminal.
You know, I think that was a bad choice for naming the tool, because a lot of people have said we would love to have Windows Terminal for Linux and Mac, right? So what will happen to the tool if they make it cross-platform?
Well, I mean, remember too, it's Microsoft. So if there's anything we can do, it's name things incorrectly.
Rebrand. Yes.
So Windows Terminal for Mac. I mean, that's what it is, right? Or Windows Terminal for Linux.
Windows Terminal for Mac.
Yeah.
Version
I don't know.
3_preview. Final.
We should just call it Terminal and really make every Google search essentially useless.
Terminal 365? How about that?
Don't give them any ideas. I guarantee you somebody will float that in a meeting.
Remember the days when everything had to be Visual Studio.NET or .NET or something, and we were running a whole bunch of tools in the early 2000s?
Was that capitalized? Was it lower? What was it?
Don't go there. My marketing spider senses are kicking in.
So I'm fairly certain that our guest has arrived.
Whoop whoop.
Good morning.
Good morning, Layla.
I can't hear you, although that could also be because I blew up all of my stuff today.
He's trying to get sound effects, and that means that sound effects trump real people.
Yeah,
we have sound effects.
Oh no! I still don't hear you. I don't know if it's a me problem or not.
So while you try to solve that one, let me talk about some news for the day. Huh?
Okay.
How about that?
Okay.
Right. Okay. So first and foremost, Microsoft Identity Platform documentation for developers. We have revamped the landing page. So if you are looking to get started, just search for Azure AD Docs Developer.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
We can hear you now.
We can hear you now.
Good. Okay.
And in here you can find most of the pointers to what you're trying to achieve. What I really like in this section though is the video section. And we've added a whole bunch. In fact, we aggregated all the videos that we had from across the board. You can obviously find them on YouTube if you want it, but here you can come in one place and find everything you need. Some of them are very short, like 7-minute videos. Stuart Kwan has done a fantastic job explaining terminology and looking at things like OAuth and OpenID Connect and what they mean and what have you. And then we have videos from Matthias and Kyle and even some PMs from the SDKs team talking about identity. So I would urge you to have a look. We will share the link. In fact, let me put the link now up so everybody can see it. And that's the first thing I had to talk about. And this is a moving target. We're always improving the docs. So if you can't find something, we had some feedback this week. In fact, this week has been insane from a developer feedback perspective. We had so many emails arriving and responding back. And that helps us make the product better. And the other one is around samples. And again, that's in response to somebody struggling this week with finding how to implement JavaScript with Azure AD or B2C. So this is a fantastic place to come and find how to get started. Again, there might be gaps in the documentation and gaps in the samples. So please let us know. Send us an email, tweet about that, or reach out in whatever way. We would love to help you out. But if you get stuck, let us know. So let me put the link for this one up as well, and we'll share both. There you go. So these were my news for the day. I mean, it's almost Christmas, so I'm not surprised that we don't have that many news. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, you sorted all your technical problems, JP?
I will never sort all my technical problems, if that's okay.
Well, you need to repair your machine.
Good morning, or I guess good afternoon for you, Layla. How are you?
I can't hear JP.
We can hear you.
You can hear me. I can't hear JP.
Oh, come on. Hang on.
We don't need JP anyway, Layla. It's you and me on this one.
Doesn't he normally dictate what I have to type, though? So how am I going to manage if he's not dictating to me?
I feel offended now, but it's fine.
How about now?
It's okay.
Now?
I'm just a pretty face in the corner while JP does all the technical stuff. That's what you're saying here. Okay. And then the other day you called me, you said I had a big head. So, you keep, the insults keep coming.
I'll tell you.
But it's fine. It's fine. I'll take it.
If
JP, we can't hear you at all. Now I can't even hear you. Maybe that's what he wanted. An easy Friday morning. Just
how about now?
behind the scenes.
Now?
Oh, dear.
Ah, God. How was your stream?
It was going sort of okay. We were doing middleware when we should have been doing a service collection extension. So that was a bit of a boo-boo. But then we got onto that, and then my entire machine froze and needed a hard reset 10 minutes before joining you. And yeah. And then it all disappeared. Oh, chat can hear JP. He's just not sharing his sound with us. So JP, because we're using OBS Ninja, go into your settings and make sure that your mic is set, because it has a habit of unsetting the mic.
I've chosen the mic 4 times.
And then we still can't hear you.
So. Still can't hear me.
Is he saying bad things about Christos and I, chat?
No, not at all.
How can they hear him and I can't hear him?
Let me try my. I'll try one of the things.
Through OBS and just ignoring us.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
So
that's it. You're right.
What?
Yeah, Rick, has he chosen the right mic?
I mean, I tell you, trying to do audio mixing.
So I had a bit of a disaster on my stream. I lost all my code then because I hadn't saved. So we'd been looking at Jimmy Bogart's code and copying, and we lost.
Repurposing, you mean?
Repurposing, yes. Repurposing his code, which we hope is right, over to my code, which of course it's going to be right.
I know it's hard. One of the things I used to do when I was working in production, when I was writing code for life rather than for fun, one of the things that we tried to do was commit often and quick and small, right? Small commits, quick commits, easy to roll back, and you don't lose lots of code. But I've been there. I've lost code before, and it's devastating. Like totally devastating.
It was only a bit of a method. I mean, it was maybe 10 lines of code, so it wasn't a disaster. But they were hard fought for copied pieces of code.
So, okay, now JP. Yes.
Oh wow.
Are you there too, Layla?
Yes.
Okay, you can hear me now. Okay, good. Okay.
I can hear you loud. Emphasis on the loud.
Loud and clear.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Trying to do Windows like audio mixing stuff is super annoying. I don't know why anybody would do this on a there's got to be some better software for this.
Because Mac and Linux is so much better, right?
No, I'm not saying it's better.
It is Voice Meter with a double E. Voice Meter.
Right.
It's like a software mixer. It's difficult to use, but I think anyway. But you'll probably have no problem.
All right. Well, then I'm gonna give it a shot because I don't know. I feel like it shouldn't be that hard because I've got all sorts of fun sound effects and stuff, and yet I can hear them and the audience can hear them, but you two can't. And so I could play all sorts of fun things like
what would you say?
Wow, the spam is
and none of you can hear it.
Morning. We can't
hear it. No.
Yeah. See. So anyway, so yeah. So well, cool. I'm glad you're back.
Before I ban the people, does anybody want to become famous and buy followers?
No, I've had to ban people on my chat today as well. Chat can.
Yes, everybody can hear you now. Oh, the chat can hear the sound effects?
Yeah, it's just you and I, Christos.
I know, that's what makes it even better, because I can play all sorts of offensive ones, and you guys will never know.
He's making us fart, you know? That
absolutely.
Fart noises galore.
No, I don't have any of those. Right now, it's just a bunch of sound clips from Office Space. So.
Okay.
Your fascination with Office Space is great.
And he just walked off set.
Left. Like, I'm giving up now. I'm offended. What are you saying about Office Space? At least we didn't insult Star Wars or Star Trek. That would have been, or Game of Thrones or whatever.
It's been one of those days.
It's a little dusty in here. I need to get something to drink. So, okay, all right.
JT has had enough. Exactly, DT in the cloud.
No, I don't know if there's a such thing as enough, but certainly not with this crew. I mean, clearly this is the third time, right?
Third time, yeah.
I know. And like
we're either doing something extremely wrong or extremely well, right?
Well, this started because I was like, well, let's see. So Layla's going to come in at 11, and we're going to be on for a minute or two before she gets there. So I need some like hold music essentially while we're waiting. Mm-hmm. And so I thought, well, how can we play hold music? But then you two can't hear it. So I could play it, but you two can't hear it. So it's kind of like
AZ Wildfire coming with low punches here. I think we may have found someone more fashionable than Christos.
I appreciate that, AZ Wildfire. I knew you'd come around.
My whole purpose on this stream was to look nice and sit in the corner with my big head. And now you're coming in and offending my clothes as well.
What t-shirt have you got on today? I am immutable.
Yes. I need to get one that's I'm unoffendable or whatever. But hey.
Oh dear.
What can I say? Right. Should we write some code? Does anybody want to write some code? And thank you, BSD guy, for rooting for us. He's such a positive person. He's like, let's win this, and we're back. I like the excitement. So thank you for joining us this morning for the shenanigans.
Oh, so before we get into the shenanigans, so next Monday, this coming Monday, we're gonna discuss B2C and multi-tenancy more in depth, because I've probably gotten a dozen emails about it this week, and so we want to talk about it a little bit more in depth. So we're going to talk about multi-tenancy and how to hook that up through B2C and the kinds of stuff you can do in your apps to deal with it, and just sort of more conceptually what they mean. And then I think we're also going to start working a little bit on a bot, which I know Christos is super excited that we decided to do a bot, but everybody has to do a bot. But we're going to start with Layla's bot and just change it. So I have some new assets which I'm super excited about that will be available. And then next Friday will be our holiday show.
Wait, you skipped Tuesday. You skipped Tuesday.
Oh, yeah, Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday, that's right. Oh, you know why I skipped it? Because I was supposed to do work for it, and I forgot.
Let's solve it under the carpet. Like, if we don't see it, we don't have to know about it.
I hoped you had forgotten, too. That's why I didn't want to say anything about it.
No, I did not forget. I did not forget.
Yeah, Tuesday will be on Identity Crisis. We're going to talk more about how we got here in terms of
the history.
OAuth and OpenID and the cloud and the internet and how those things blew everything up. And then next Friday will be holiday stream. So we're just going to hang out. A bunch of people from the show who are going to come back.
You're in such a hurry. You skipped Wednesday now.
Christ, what's happening on Wednesday?
The Tech Fest calendar. We're doing a Christmas kind of a themed session on Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. Or is it 10 a.m.? I need to find. See?
Anyway.
Yeah, we'll be in the morning, at some point in the morning. We'll tweet about it. We're doing a festive kind of a stream, just the two of us, me and JP. We'll probably do a rehash of getting started with identity. So if you haven't seen one of the 20 million deliveries that we've done across user groups and conferences, then you can get a chance to watch us do it again and again.
Are you going to be dressed up?
We'll try, yes.
Holiday jumper, like me.
Holiday jumper, yeah, like you. That's absolutely.
Well, I ordered mine. It's supposed to be here soon.
Mine is
arriving. I'll definitely have it for next Friday. So.
And then on Friday we get a whole roundtable of all our guests, whoever accepted. You
didn't invite me.
The invites are still going out.
The invites are going out today.
And you've been on the past 3 shows, so we don't want to be presumptuous and be like, well, sure she won't mind coming back. clearly she's free from 10 to noon Pacific or Eastern time every day of the week. So let's just invite her back.
Nick, the first one, says if he remembers to get in. I suspect that this is for you, JP. If you remember to do the stream, don't worry. I give him a call every morning as soon as I wake up. I'm like, hey. Morning, honey. How are you? Are we in the stream today? There's no way he's escaping.
So Rick says that our stream always starts off so well organized. Clearly.
Obviously.
Clearly. I should put that on my mid-year review. Which we're going through right now. So if we're not back after the holidays, you'll know how our mid-year reviews went.
Yes. Morning. Forever Natty JS. Hi. Thanks for joining the stream. Right. Let's do some code. So we do a very quick recap about what we've done because there might be very new people to this stream, so they have no idea where we're starting from.
Who's doing that? JP. JP knows what we did more than I know what I
did. Clearly, I have a career as a teacher in front of me. So, your app, the app that we started with, was originally using ASP.NET Identity, right?
Yep, I'll run it.
Yep, so the app was originally using ASP.NET Identity, and we were like, ASP.NET Identity? Who would want to do that? And so let's gut it, and let's dump it and start using B2C instead. So we hooked it up with B2C, and everything worked well. Got it all sorted so you could sign in, do whatever. We also got hooked up by SMS with the built-in SMS provider. We hooked up some custom policies to get MFA set up and all that sort of stuff, which is cool. So now you can type in your phone number and all that sort of stuff. But the whole point was we don't want to use the baked-in MFA provider. We want to use Twilio Verify. So. So we jumped into some policies. We had everything sort of set up and ready to go. And then we said, hey, you know what? We ought to blow it up again. And this time we're going to use Twilio instead. And so where we left off on Wednesday was getting getting to the point where we're ready to do the Twilio work.
Yes.
So that's where we are. So that's what we gotta do.
Okay.
Are we done with the custom policies, or do we still have work on the custom policies?
Oh no, it's almost all custom policies from here on out. It's all turtles all the way down.
So do you need the hat? Because Bolt.io is like, where's the hat?
Yeah, that's a good point. Let me get my hat.
The wizard hat.
Actually, I've got a more festive wizard hat today, which we'll use.
Have you shown the lights on?
Huh?
Did you show the lights on? Oh, you got the other one. Nice.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. AZ Wildfire, you're getting your Twilio emotes. It's on our to-do list. We just need to work with our vendor, but you're getting them. It's fine. It's fine. There will be giveaways next Friday, by the way. So
apparently I haven't.
Twilio emotes.
Twilio emotes. Twilio emotes. Oh, Twilio emotes.
What's a Twilio emote? Like an SMS message? Like just like a t-shirt cannon full of SMSs just plowing somebody over?
I don't know. That's why I'm like Twilio emotes.
Code it up on Steam, cowards. That's what he's saying. Code it up on Steam, cowards. I love the support from our friend Azure Wildfire. This is what you creators.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
I think my head is abnormally large, or beanies are abnormally small, because this is quite tight. I feel like it's going to cut off the blood to my scalp.
To your brain, and you need your brain to dictate code to me.
Oh, there's still plenty.
No comment. No comment from me. No comment from me. I, with regards to big heads, I will leave it to other people.
Yeah, we know what happened last time you talked about small peanuts, and we don't want to talk about peanuts with you ever again. I'll tell you that right now. Okay. So we've got a couple things we need to bring into your policy. So I sent you a link that's got some of these pre-baked, and having you dictate these to you wouldn't be good for anybody. So instead we'll just sort of bring them over, and then we'll make a few edits to them and walk through what they do, and then hopefully we'll be ready to go. So the big thing that I that I didn't have ready last time we talked was the registration side, right? So when somebody comes in and says, hey, I don't have a phone number that I want to use, we've got to capture that from them, right? And I think that was the big thing that I was missing, that I just hadn't had a chance to get sorted out before we last talked. But I have had a chance to get that sorted. The repo is public now, so you should be able to get to it.
Do you want to add a link to the repo?
Not yet. Still a lot of things need to be cleaned up. So those two middle files, the conditional access one, basically the ones that were changed 2 hours ago. Those three 04 conditional access, and we're gonna let's start with the conditional access one. Conditional access.xml.
Do this one. Okay.
Yep. So we're gonna start with this one. You probably want to just get the raw one and copy it, because it's fairly long. Most of it's boilerplate, and most of it came from the samples anyway, so you wouldn't necessarily have to do all this work on your own. And we'll talk about the couple of changes that we made.
Does it live in here where these ones are?
Yeah, let's make a new file.
Okay, so new file. And what's this one going to be called?
We can call it conditional access. That's what I call it, but you're free to call it whatever you want. Conditional access.xml. Cool. All right, so let's get all that in there, and you'll notice it's 500 lines of XML, which we're not gonna delve into too deeply. But like the other ones, at the very top, we have to make a couple changes.
Okay.
So instead of it saying my tenant, we've got to change that from JPDA B2C to say Layla Stream.
Okay.
Which is the same thing, that should be the same thing as what's at the top of yours.
Yes, I was just opening the ones that we hadn't updated.
Okay.
Come on. Yeah, there we go. This one here, Layla Stream, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So we are in this one, okay? And so we change it from...
You're going to change it? You're going to change that one? Yep. And then we're going to have a couple others in that that are XML attributes on that top one.
JPDA. Okay,
yep.
So here.
That's one, yep.
And
then that one.
Yep.
Yep.
And that's
okay, cool. And then where it says policy, right here, where it says base policy, policy ID, we need to change that one, because this is sort of the inheritance. And since we're not doing GitHub or anything like that, we're going to change that. So instead of it being GitHub claims provider, I believe it's going to be Trust Framework Extensions. And this is inheritance. This is how all these different files can inherit from each other. And this is what sort of sets them, sets what their parents are. So you can define something in a base one, and then you can upload another one that derives from it, or extends it if you want to call it that. And then everything that's in the base one will also be available here. Okay, good. So this is going to come from Trust Framework extensions. And then your sign up or sign in policy, that other XML file that we have, we now want it to derive from this one. So instead of this one being Trust Framework extensions, it's going to be conditional access.
And is it still B2C 1A, yeah?
Mm-hmm. It sure is.
Cool. Alrighty. Okay.
Okay. So now we got to add a couple things in. So let's go back to the conditional access one. And if you look at the top, there's a bunch of stuff here that comes out of the templates for things like your IP address, what kind of message we need to send back, what kind of methods you used for doing MFA or signing in. All of these are baked in. And if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see a ring here or a comment that says Twilio Verify, and those are the ones that we had to add.
There's a question. Why not use the policy publish functionality in the plugin rather than doing manual find and replace?
I don't know. I guess I didn't know that was there.
We learned
Stop saying things when I'm drinking coffee.
Oh, sorry. No, I didn't know the publish was there. I guess maybe I didn't set them up correctly. I've been using a tool that auto syncs the policies as I do saves. It's like a file watcher. So I've just been doing that, but yeah, if there's something in the plugin that'll make this easier, that's even cooler. I didn't know those were there. So if I right click on one of these, do I get a publish? I don't see one. I don't know. I have to go dig into it and look. I'll look later today. Okay. So we've got the end of the CA claims, and now we've got our Twilio stuff. So these are all the things that we need to make our Twilio stuff work, right? And so when you're doing these custom policies, everything is kind of like a hey, thanks Frank for bringing over your group. We're doing Azure AD B2C for signing into an app, and we're integrating Twilio Verify as the SMS provider. So you've come at a great time. So we've got all these different claims, and the whole point of the claims, you'll notice they have like an ID and a data type. That's probably the most important part of the whole thing. Every time we go through a step, so every time we go through our user journey where we are signing a user in, with every single one of those steps, claims are being taken in and claims are spitting out. And a claim is just a key value pair. So we're defining our schema essentially with all these different things in here. So we've got things like Twilio Verify, the user entered phone number. We've got our, whether or not we validated the phone number yet, what the approval status is, which is what comes back from the Twilio APIs. There are all sorts of different, these are essentially extra fields. So we've extended the schema to support this.
Cool.
So let's go down a little bit more. And these are all transformations, and we can skip most of these. There'll be a few more of them further down that are more interesting to us. There we go. Normalized phone number and all these different things. So a claims transformation, we've got lots of different methods you can, we got lots of different ways that you can transform claims. And that might be, I want to look to see if a claim exists. It might be, I want to change the value of a claim. We're doing transformations to figure out if you approved the text message, right? Because the Twilio Verify API will tell us it's approved or it's pending or whatever. And so this process Twilio response claims transformation here on line 228, it does exactly that. It just compares the value of what we got back from the API to the word approved and checks to see if it's equal or not, right? And then we can use these later on. So we can, some of these are Booleans, so we can use them to say, yeah, the user did approve it, so we want to go do stuff, or the user didn't approve it, so we want to go do something else, or they put in the wrong one. So that's what we've got here for our transformations, right? So let's go down a little bit more. And this is all sort of the base setup that we need to make this work. So we can skip most of this. We'll keep on going. Most of these are built-in. These are most of the built-in pieces, and a lot of these are the ways to hook into conditional access, because conditional access is ultimately what's going to drive if a user should have to do MFA or not. So now we've gotten to the Twilio bits.
So JP, how much of this did you have to write, and how much was adding to an existing template? Was it all just the Twilio stuff that you had to add?
Yep, everything that I added was the Twilio stuff.
Cool.
So the block of a dozen new claims and the block of a few transformations, and then these three Twilio blocks here. These are the things that I had to add myself. So what we've got here is this is what's called there's a REST API provider, right? Mm-hmm. Brett's disappointed that I didn't hand roll literally all of this XML.
How do you know he hasn't? Did you see his tweet yesterday?
I did.
I mean, to be honest, I had to rewrite it so many times that I was like, it probably is close to the total volume of XML in here. Just anyway, the number of keystrokes, but whatever. It's a good keyboard. It lasts. So when we want to call a REST API, calling a REST API in B2C is probably one of the most powerful things about it. In fact, I have even said in the past that sometimes the easiest way to get started with custom policies is to do all of your logic in code in a function or in an API somewhere and just make one call in the policy to go do that. So what we're going to do is, what this configuration is going to do is configure B2C to say, hey, go and call this API, this REST API. You're going to send some data over to it, and we're going to get some data back from it. So these input claims, these two things called input claims, those are the things, those input claims, that's data inbound. That's the data we're going to send to the REST API. And you can send them in a post, you can send them in a GET, you can send them in the body, you can send them in the query string, lots of different ways to send the data in. For Twilio, we have to do a form post, so that's what we're doing. So you'll notice it says on a little bit, one sort of notch up, it says send claims in form, and that's what we're saying is go send the claims in a form. Which is going to do a post, and they're all going to be, form www URL x encoded, whatever the thing is, x URL form encoded. I don't remember what it is. We've got our credentials, so those two things called cryptographic keys aren't really cryptographic keys, but they are the username and password that we need because Twilio's API uses BASIC. So we're going to have to go add those two to yours, but we'll come to that in a minute. So our input claims are things we're going to send to the API, and their API is super simple. So it's 2, which is the number, and what channel, so SMS in our case. And if you scroll over a little bit, you'll see that where it says partner claim type channel, it'll say default value is SMS, and always use the default. So it'll always send SMS in the code, or in the post. Then below that, we have our output. And the output is what your API is going to return, right? Now, there are actually none in here for this one specifically because there's really nothing that comes back from the API in that first call that we really care about. Like, we could check it to see if it failed or something, but, whatever. Like, you do exception handling when you need to, right? When somebody complains.
Because this is, if I go over here to the service I have locally, this is basically, go away, is the first message, I'm guessing, where you just send an SMS.
Yep.
And this is a void. We're not worried about that. And then next we're going to verify the token. Is that right?
That's right.
So you've basically written this out.
Pretty much, yeah. So again, 4 lines of code, 900 lines of XML, This is what makes you a 10x developer, I guess. In terms of pure lines of code written. So we don't care what the return is, and so we're actually not doing anything with it because we're just kind of trusting and assuming that it actually sent. So then the next one beneath that is our validation one, and the validation one, obviously, we do care about the data that comes in. So the setup is largely the same. We've got the URL we're calling. We're going to send it in a form. We've got some credentials. The input in this case is the phone number, which is what the API is expecting, and then the code that the user got, right? And I'll show you how we get that verification code here in a minute. The difference between claim type reference ID and partner claim type reference ID is a way to say this is the sort of the local ID in the policy, the claim that we created earlier. Partner claim type is if it needs to be a specific name when it gets sent, and obviously the API is expecting 2 encode, so we have to send those 2. And then this one we do have an output. So the output is what we're going to get back from the API. And so the one thing that we care about in here is the status. And so there are other checks we could make, and there are other fields that come back, but the only thing we really care about right now is the status. So we're gonna check the status, but we're not going to check the status here. We're going to get the status out of the response, and then right underneath this, you notice we've got output claims transformation. Those output transformations are the things that are going to look at that response, figure out if it equals approved, and then it's going to set a bool to say, yes, this was approved, or false, it was not approved. And we're going to use that later. For conditional access to work, and for conditional access to see that you did do an MFA, we're also going to output this add to authentication methods used, and that's a list internally that conditional access uses to say, hey, you used MFA to sign in. Does that match the policy? Do you satisfy the policy this way?
There's a question from Denny 441, like 4 ones anyway. Denny 4 ones. Okay. Why is this XML and not JSON or YAML? Can't speak about YAML. But.
So JSON and YAML would make this worse than it is. The advantage that XML has, of course, is that there's a schema, and there's a really good support for schema sort of across all sorts of tools and everything else. The other side to it is, well, yeah, Bolt, I think it could get worse if you had to express a custom policy in YAML or JSON.
Yeah, YAML.
No, it's the fact that there's a schema is really the biggest thing. That's the thing that makes it work, that makes it at least a little bit easier to know if what you're typing is relatively close to what you should be. Yep. At the end of the day, most of this essentially is deserialized into code objects that get executed. So it's an interesting way. It's an interesting way to author these policies, and at least for now, this is what it is. It is absolutely not the best developer experience, but at the same time, in a lot of cases, you don't need to go this route to just get B2C up and going. Like Layla had done a B2C stream earlier, and we didn't have to touch any of this for getting users signed in. We didn't have to do anything like this. So it's one of those things where it's really cool because it's ultra flexible, and you do almost anything you need to do, you can do with it. And the team's working on enabling scenarios that don't require you to come here, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, and JSON schema would be good. It's just that it's not as widely supported, at least for right now. So anyway, so the last one down here is we have to capture the user's code, because so far we've said we've made a call to send the text to the user, and we've made the call to verify the text from the user, but we haven't done anything to actually get the user to type in the text, right? To type in the code that they receive. So that's what our next block is here, this capture user code. And this one's what's called a self-asserted, meaning a user just said this is something. So that's what this is. So the user is asserting and saying, yeah, this is the code that I received, and the button says verify, you change that sort of thing. And the thing that we're looking for is the verification code, and then the thing we're going to put out is also the verification code. So when it comes in, we don't have it. And when it comes out, we do have it because the user's typed it in. So by virtue of that, now we've got it. And then that's it for the SMS round trip itself. And then the very last one underneath is capturing the phone number. And so this is the one where we're going to let the user type in their phone number. It's identical in terms of what it does to the SMS code where they type in the verification code that they received. The only difference is we're setting a different value when it's done. Clear as mud, right?
Are we ready to run it?
No, we're not ready to run it. Are you kidding me? It's B2C.
We have to upload this and do stuff in the portal.
Well, after we upload.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do we're gonna have to do a couple things. So scroll down a little bit more. I'm not sure what else is down here. So we got some transformations, and then what's this last claims provider that's down 449? If you explode that.
Oh no, wait. 414. Oh, this one here, yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so there are a couple extra transformations that are happening here. So we check to see if the phone number exists for the user, and this is all about capturing it. So if the user has not given us a phone number yet, we're going to ask them for it. So we're going to essentially call that other one that says, "Hey, give me the user's phone number." Okay, so there's one other thing that we need, and in our sign up and sign in policy, we're going to have to make some changes. So the sign up or sign in XML file that you've got. So everything we've done in these other files is really all about getting all the right building blocks in place, and then the sign up, sign in, these have the user journeys in them, and the user journeys are the things that actually put all the blocks in a specific order and say, go do this, then go do this, then go do this, then go do this. So let's go back to GitHub for a minute, because we're going to need to get one other file from out there. And there was another file called Conditional Access Enlightened Flow.
I like the name.
Yep. And this is the one. This is the one we're going to use for actually signing the user in. And if you want, we can just create a new file with this.
Alrighty.
Which might be a little bit faster anyway. And you can call it whatever you want. Just not.
Well, I would like to stick with Enlightened. It was good.
I'm just copying you.
That's fine. No, that's fine. That makes it simpler. That makes it simpler in my newly blood constricted brain. So, so here's our flow. We gotta make those same changes. I gotta look at this. I gotta look at the extension changes that we can make to do this automatically, because that would be pretty cool. But Copper Beardy just raided your channel.
Yeah, wrong target, but we value the. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. So many ideas for emotes here. One is for JP to bend the code like the Matrix, and the other one is for Jon Snow emotes.
I know nothing. That's very accurate, actually. You know nothing, Jon Snow. Okay, so we've got your. So are these now Layla stream? Cool. Okay.
I have.
Okay, cool. So now we've got our flow, and our flow is going to go through a couple extra steps this time, because we need to check to see if the user's signed in and if they have a phone number, and then we're going to do a few things. So the first one is just a normal sign in. So the user tries to sign in. The next step is that if the user doesn't exist, then we're going to go have them sign up because they chose sign up. The next step is if they sign in with social, which again, we're not using social this time around, so it doesn't really matter. So we can skip number 3 because we're never going to end up in that condition by virtue of the fact that we're not giving anybody a social account to sign into.
Yeah.
Step 4 is where things get interesting. So in step 4, now we're looking to see, has this flag been set? So if the strong auth phone number exists, then if it's true, we're going to skip this step. If it's not true, if it's false, that means they don't have the strong authentication phone number, which is just the place where we store it. And if they don't, then we're going to do this exchange called capture new user phone. And that was the one we had just looked at a minute ago, where it presents the form and says, hey, you need your phone number. So we're going to skip this if we have the number. We're not going to skip it if we don't have a number, because we need the number. So let's go down to the next one. So now the next one is what's called a sub-journey. And the sub-journey is a way to say, I've got this thing that I always have to do over and over again. For example, sending a text, getting the text message from the user, and sending the text and the verification code back to Twilio to check to see if it's valid. We've got to do that in 2 different cases. So what we're going to do is what's called a sub-journey. And a sub-journey it's really just a prepackaged chunk of go do these steps. So instead of this thing having to have those 3 steps in here, we can just go call that and have it go. So what this is going to do is send and receive verification. And in this case, this is a user who's new. So this is a user who has given us a phone number and who has yet to validate it, that it's their proper phone number. And then number 6 is when we hand off to conditional access, which is what goes and checks to see if you need to MFA or not. If you do, then step 7 gets run, which is go and actually do an MFA. So for some reason you're required to do it, so you got to go and do it based on the rules. So that's like a normal sign-in MFA. We get down to number 8, and number 8 we're going to write the user, and we're going to write their phone number. So we're going to save their phone number that they entered for us earlier and that they have verified. Step 9, if you fail conditional access checks, we're going to block you and just show a page that says, sorry, you can't sign in. Yeah. And then step 10, we call more conditional access stuff to try to remediate a user. And then lastly, we send the claims. Step 11, send claims. So we had to add 5, 6-ish new steps here, but it's just that it happens to be hyper verbose, and so we have to be extremely specific in what we do. Right underneath this are the subjourneys, and the subjourneys, these are the ones that we called earlier. So send and receive verification. All it's doing is sending the code, capturing the user's code, verifying the user's code. And since we want to do those 3 things over and over again, we can use that subjourney to reference that whenever, right? So I think that's the bulk of this file, and the bulk of this file done. So we got to go back to the portal. We're going to get these uploaded. They won't work the first time through because then that would be some sort of magic I've never seen in my entire life. But we'll hopefully we'll be close.
B2C. Okay. Yes, there we go.
So we're going to get back over on the... we got to switch your directory with the little bell.
Yep. The bell.
Right next to the bell.
No, not that one. Next to the left. The filter.
The filter, yeah. One of your directories is Layla Stream. That's the one we need
there
to
we go. That one. And then, my God. B2C here. And
one of these days.
App registrations. And we want to go Identity Experience Framework or User Flows.
We do. Identity Experience Framework. You're like an old pro now.
Yeah, I know.
So now we need, before we upload them, we need a policy key. So where it says policy keys on the left, this is where we store secrets. You can almost think of it as kind of like a key vault just for B2C policies. The 2 things we need to add in here are a Twilio SID and a Twilio account identifier, or whatever it's called. The Twilio username and Twilio password we're going to use to send. In fact, I can just give you mine because...
No, you will not dox yourself.
Okay. All right, here. You want me to hide your screen?
Yes, please.
Okay, so when you put them in here, just use them as you can just set them as encryption and manual. Okay. Let me hide your screen.
No doxing today. Not on our watch.
All right, your screen's hidden.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is go and grab this because I've already got all of this in my user secrets. Okay. So we want the account SID, so this one. And let me go back to the portal. So we're gonna. You can still see my screen, can't you, JP? So
I can see a very small window of your screen, yes, but that's okay.
Double click it. Okay, so we don't want to be generate. We want a manual.
Yep.
And then what's the name?
The name is going to be. Let me just find the name in the policy so that you can put in the correct one from the very start. It is. Where did they go? Where did they go? They'll never know. Okay, it's Twilio Verify account ID with capital V, capital A, capital I.
Yep.
And the usage is going to be encryption.
Okay. And do I need to tick either of the set activation date or set expiration date?
You do not.
Okay. Create.
Yep.
Okay.
And then the other one is the same except for its account key. Twilio Verify account key.
Twilio Verify account key.
Yep.
And let me go get the secret. And go back to the portal. And I'm dropping the secret in. And it's encryption again.
Yep. So we should have Twilio. Cool. So we've got Twilio Verify account ID and Twilio Verify account key. Okay, good. I'm going to show your screen again.
Yep.
Okay. So now that by adding these 2 in, these are referenced in the thing because we don't want to have a bunch of secrets in our policies, obviously. And so you can you can use these for storing certificates, for storing just string secrets, for generating them, all sorts of different things. But by putting these two in here, now our policy, when we upload it, should not blow up and say, "Hey, you're missing these two. You're missing these two things."
It's going to. It will. Because
it will. That's okay.
Because if we go back to this one here, conditional access, right at the top, well, where you do the API call, okay, you've hard coded your service.
Oh no, I have, haven't I? So yeah, that's gonna break.
Yeah.
So, do you have a service, or do you want to use my service?
No, we'll have to use my service, so you'll have to just hide my screen.
Okay, sorry. I did forget about that.
But at least I didn't forget.
Perfect.
All right, so let me go. I'm just going to go grab my key, and then I'll just drop that into that there. So you can show my screen again now. And there we go. So that's updated.
And there's a second one right below that. Because we call the API twice. So there's the verifications call, and then there's the other one right here. Yep.
Done.
Okay, cool. All right, let's upload them and see what happens. I'm like,
all right, so
I'm super anxious to see if this is going to work or not.
6 minutes to go. Both. Let's see if that's going to happen.
We can do this. Okay, so app registration.
Custom policies. Very top.
There. It wasn't biting me. Okay, upload. All right, so the first one we need then is, if I go identity policies, there's an order, isn't there? So which one's first?
There is.
It's
the first one is conditional access. We haven't made any. Did we make any changes to base? I don't think we did.
No, we didn't. So conditional access. Oh, whoopsies. Select a file. Conditional access. Yeah, overwrite.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't think we've got one, so that's cool.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I'm impressed that.
Next one.
Next one is our enlightened flow. Okay. What?
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god. Okay.
And now sign up and sign in, or did we change that?
We got to make one change to sign up or sign in.
Okay. And what's that?
So in our sign up or sign in. Oh, sorry. No. We just uploaded our new one, right? That was in our enlightened flow. So scroll Scroll up to the top of this one. So that's called sign up or sign in, and then go to the enlightened flow XML. And that one is sign up or sign in with CA. Okay, so let's go back to the portal. I think we actually have everything we need. We don't even need to upload anything else. And then scroll down near the bottom, and let's look at our policy list. And that's Susie with CA. Oh no, there is one more change we need to make. Sorry.
Okay.
Go back to your policies. And let's look at your sign up or sign in one. And you can collapse this whole user journeys element because we don't need that. Where is where's the relying party? This will seem to be missing it. There it is. There it is. Okay. So where it says sign up or sign in as the reference ID for default user journey, add with CA, capital W, capital C, capital A, and save that.
And upload?
And upload this one, which is sign up or sign in.xml. Yep.
Alrighty. So upload, find it, sign up or sign in, open, overwrite, upload.
Okay. See, I knew it was going to blow up. So neither the policy nor any of its base policies contain an element B2C 1A sign up, sign in. Oh, I think I may have the wrong. I think we may have the wrong. There may be one thing that we missed. Let's go back and scroll to the top. Change that the base policy from conditional access to whatever. Oh no, sorry. What's the policy? This one needs to change, but I don't think it's conditional access. What's the name of that enlightened flow? If you scroll over, it'll be in the top of this. Susie with CA. That's the policy ID that we need.
Like so.
Okay. Yep. All right.
Save
so let's upload this. Yep. So now we've told this file to inherit from the other file.
Okay, let's go.
Oh my God. Okay, let's try it.
3 minutes.
Let's try it.
Okay, let's go.
Let's see if it works. So we're going to click on the sign up or sign in policy. We can just do it. We'll just do just do a test quickly. That's fine. All that's fine. Okay, so sign in and okay, so you signed in, so that's good. So so we didn't break anything.
Yeah.
And scroll down. Let's check one thing in here. So we used our new policy, that sign up, sign in policy. So the one thing we need to do now is we need to add a custom policy, or sorry, we need to add a conditional access policy to enforce MFA. So at this point, we're not enforcing MFA, so you don't have to do it. So we're going to go back to our B2C sort of top level thing, the B2C main view. And on the left, we should see conditional access near the bottom. And that's in preview. And we're going to add a new policy. So let's add a new policy. And you can call it, MFA enforcement or whatever you'd like to call it.
Yep.
Okay, so now we need to choose the users who we want to force to do MFA. Probably best to not do all users because that could end up poorly, especially if we've broken our flow. So check users and groups.
Yeah.
And we're going to go find a user. So I would say probably that middle user is the best one. That's most likely your B2C user, so select that one. And then over there on the left, we've got Cloud Apps or Actions. And this is where we choose, under what circumstances do we want you to do this? So you can either make it just for certain apps, or you can make it for all apps, or somewhere in between. The CloudCityCakes, let's do that one. Yep, we can do that one. Okay. And if you scroll down, you'll see that should be there. Cool. And then under conditions, we can add some extra conditions. We're not going to worry about the conditions right now. This is mostly stuff like location. Okay, grant. So we want to grant access, but we do want to require multi-factor. So hit select and change the enable policy to on and save that up.
Alrighty.
And we have to turn off security defaults first. Of course.
Where's that?
Not like we could do that right here in the button. Up in the top bar.
Yeah.
The search bar. Just search for Azure Active Directory. Go there. Go to here in overview. Scroll down a little bit. Scroll down to the main pane.
Great.
Let's look at properties on the left. Sorry.
Properties.
Right at the bottom.
Properties. Right at the bottom. That one.
And scroll down here. And see where it says Manage Security Defaults. We want to turn those off. So hit No. Other, or mine using conditional access. It doesn't really matter.
Okay, let's try that one. Yeah.
Okay, now let's go back and finish our policy, our conditional access policy. We'll have to do it again, but that's okay. It'll only take a sec.
Okay, new policy. We go here, users and groups. We go this person, select. We go here, select apps. We're going to choose CloudCityCakes, select. We go, we don't have any of those. We're going to go grant access, select. And we're going to turn it on and create.
Okay, so now we got a policy.
Pay attention.
That's awesome. So we've got a policy. Good. Don't know what it's doing, but we've got one. Okay, that's... If you scroll up, does it have any errors? Oh, it needs a name.
Oh my god, yes, we've got the name. Okay. Policy enforcement. It could have told me down the bottom that I had an error.
You would think.
There we go.
We need to tell everybody they need to do this with at 640 by 480 resolution. Okay. Let's go test your policy again. So back in B2C, and then custom policies and that whole bit. or
down
identity
here.
experience, and
Down
sign up, sign in.
here.
Okay. Change your app because we only applied it to a specific app, and it was not the Blazor app. So let's change it to CloudCityCakes. Yep. Okay. You should have gotten a text. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, no. My phone.
You did.
Did I
It's
get a
your
text?
number. It's your number.
Wait, is it my number?
It was your number.
Oh.
We used your number.
Oh, that's right. We did use my number, didn't we? Okay, let me get my text up.
So from now on, if anybody wants to use Layla's Cakes to order some cakes app, then just make sure that JP is on the standby.
Oh, that's right, because I don't think I had UK numbers turned on in my account, so that would be that would make sense then. Okay, your Cloud City verification code is 946067.
949. Oh my God! 946067.
Don't stress.
That was
Don't
challenging.
stress. Don't stress.
Yep. Oh, we got signed in. Oh my God! All right,
At the
scroll
top
down.
of the hour. That's amazing.
All right, no, hold on. We're not done.
No pressure.
Cool. Yeah, so it worked. So you
Yes,
were forced
we
to
did
MFA, and you had to do it. So the one thing we
my
didn't put in
God.
here is an extra claim that says that you did do MFA, and that's the thing that your app would key off of to say that you did or did not do MFA. So, but that's a minor thing. It's actually in the policies.
Yep.
It's just not turned on. So no, that's awesome. It worked. I'm impressed.
Okay, both of you have to do synchronized share party with me now.
Right.
Okay.
Just give
how
us
do you do a
the
chair party?
countdown so we can do it.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Go.
Okay. So what
Clip
do you?
this,
What do you?
people.
are we
Why
like-
aren't you doing
That was
Come on.
that was the end of the stream. Thank you.
There we go.
Suddenly the numbers are dropping significantly on the counter. Like,
We're like washing. Are we washing a car? What exactly are we doing?
Chair
Next?
partying.
Oh, yeah.
So I guess
Well,
you can get
okay.
rid of me now, can't you?
we don't want to get rid of you, but
Well, that's awesome. Well, hey,
it's been great.
thank you so much for coming. and hanging with
Finally.
us. That was awesome.
Thanks for your
Thank you
patience.
so much.
Justin, yes.
All right, I shall get out your hair.
All right. Well, we're gonna take a break anyway, so that Layla can get moving, and we'll be back in just a couple minutes, and we'll talk some Cloud Shell, right? Have a
Yes,
great weekend,
Layla, thanks for
Layla.
coming again. Have everybody.
And
We'll see you in
bye,
2 minutes,
people.
2.5.
All
Bye.
right.
Bye.